Welcome back. 6:53 now. Men who serve in the armed forces are more likely to commit a violent offence than their civilian counterparts.
It's a new report out this morning shows that more than 20% of servicemen under 30 have a conviction for violent offending, compared to just under 7% of the general population.
Joining us now from our studio in Manchester is former soldier Lewis McKay, who served in Afghanistan. And it changed you, didn't it, when you came back? Just tell us how.
It did, absolutely. When I come back, I was very aggressive. I was very violent. I was very on edge. Yeah, it was very hard when I come back.
So, what kind of assessment did you go through, Lewis, after your tour?
When we returned, we kind of got gathered as a squadron, as a regiment, and we did. They said to us, if you come across the signs of the symptoms, you know, whether you see it in yourself or you see it in anyone else in the squadron, then, you know, come and speak to us. I don't know if anyone did come and speak, you know, go and speak to the regiment at all. I was fortunate enough to know people within a charity, Talking2Minds, that I could go to direct and get the help without having to speak to the military themselves. And
it affected your relationships, didn't you? You had a girlfriend at the time, and just what impact did it have on that? It got to the point where she physically didn't exist to me. I'd completely blank her. My main focal point was my 2-year-old son. No one else mattered to me, and you know, it got to the stage where the smallest thing would infuriate me, and it would make me want to lash out and hit my wife.
And I think the thing is, Lewis, I mean, obviously you're a trained soldier, but very little can prepare you for what you saw whilst you were fighting in Afghanistan, can it? Absolutely.
You know, you can do as much training as you physically want or as you can, to prepare you for the skills and the drills that you're going to be doing on operational tours. But nothing will prepare you mentally for the things that you do and the things that you see, and the things you've kind of got to acknowledge and take in while you're out there.
OK, Lewis, well, look, thanks very much indeed for joining us. Glad to see you getting things back on track. We can talk now to Bruce Martin from the charity Lewis mentioned there, Talking2Minds, which specifically deals with soldiers suffering from post-traumatic stress. Good morning to you, Bruce.
Morning.
Is enough being done to help soldiers? And if not, is that why they're more violent than the general population when they come back?
It's not so much not enough's being done, but there's not enough awareness still around PTSD. And as the awareness is growing, we're getting so many more phone calls coming to us asking for help.
And I mean, were you surprised at all by 1 in 5 servicemen who come back will be violent, according to this?
No, not in the slightest, because they don't have anywhere to go to at the moment, really, to help them. And all of the therapies that are out there are still trauma-focused.
And one of the things this report does say is that a lot of it is linked to a history of aggression before they join the services. I mean, should there be more done to sort of screen people before they join the service?
Yeah, I think that would actually be a very valid point as well. Yeah.
But inevitably, I mean, I think when I was back at school, some of the bad lads I was at school with, they were going to end up going into the army because it would sort them out in a way. It would show them some discipline. So you can't sort of stop that happening, can you?
No, I mean, it's impossible to stop that. But, you know, the MOD are there to train soldiers to do their job. They're not there for the mental health aspect afterwards. That's where, you know, for the PTSD issue afterwards, that's where people like us come in. And the big thing to point out is that the trauma-focused therapies that are out there, EMDR and CBT, are not working, and what we're using is something completely different. We don't focus on the trauma at all, which is having massive results.
And it's getting to grips with this that actually affects all of us, doesn't it, when soldiers come back?
Absolutely, and it affects everybody. And we also deal with the families of servicemen coming back as well, which is another very important point.
Good to hear it.
Thank you very much.
Okay.